Hi everybody, it's Maggie. Welcome back to Super Princess Tea Party. So the last time that I tried to talk about the Game Grumps, it ended kind of poorly, but this time we're talking about Good Game, and specifically that Aaron and Danny star in this game show. Not game show, but show about games. So what is the show about? It's actually basically just a D&D campaign. Like, friends Alex and Ryland are like, treasure! They want the $1 million, and they're gonna get the $1 million by doing this esports tournament. So they put together a team of ragtag individuals who are all very different, teamwork and all of that. It's very by the numbers in that way, and really the meat of it has to do with the characters and how they interact and sort of resolve their own problems and flaws, and that's really cool. I actually like all of the characters so far, and we're only 2 episodes in. One of the complaints that people had about episode 1 was the breakneck speed at which it just threw the plot and all the characters at you. And that's valid, like, that did happen. It was too fast. However, that is generally, like, that's often a episode 1 problem for series, plural. So I figured that was just an episode 1 problem, and I went on to watch episode 2, which is perhaps untactfully called Everyone Calls Everyone Else a Nazi. Maybe not the best choice in this political climate, but there you have it. So if that was the one thing that was bothering you about it, was the breakneck speed, I will tell you that slowed down, and it's way better now about that. People's complaints about the show have ranged from valid, completely normal things like, I didn't really like the acting, or I didn't really get hooked on it, or the pace was weird, to really, really puzzling things that I don't really understand. Like, specifically, some people were complaining that Danny and Aaron's characters were not acting like Danny and Aaron, and I don't really know what to tell you about that. Danny and Aaron are not playing Danny and Aaron, they're playing Alex and Ryland. They're in a fictional story playing people who don't really exist. So those people are not going to act like them, they're going to act like those people. And so I understand if you came into it thinking they were going to be playing themselves and were disappointed, I get that. But to have a problem with the concept of acting full stop is sort of puzzling and weird. One of the things I really enjoy about this is how far it goes with its critiques of the gaming industry and the gaming community, how incredibly toxic and weird it can be to women and to minorities. Amazingly, one of my favorite characters in the whole show is actually Kumal, the incredibly trolling asshole character, because I think he's going to have a lot of emotional growth throughout the show. Hopefully, from what I've seen from episode 2, it seems like he's going to go on a journey of like, wow, maybe I don't need to be a destructive asshole to everyone. If I had to bet, I'm betting that his sort of emotional problems have to do with like his dad or his family in some way, like getting a divorce and then acting out about it. I don't know. That's just a theory, right? The other person in this show that everyone is sort of upset about is Ryland, played by Aaron Hansen. They're upset that he said all these things to Kamal and like, oh, Aaron would never say things like that, and again, acting. But I do understand, like, people don't want to root for a character who's an asshole. There seems to be a concern among some people that they don't want to watch a show or enjoy a show that does not align with their politics. And where there is some that's valid to a certain point. Like, I'm not going to be watching Alex Jones or some other InfoWars bullshit, and be like, wow, I'm really learning things about other people's perspectives. But I think it's okay for there to be characters who are kind of flawed and shitty. Specifically, this is the beginning of the series, and Ryland is sort of still kind of fucked up and shitty and flawed in a lot of ways. People were upset that words like triggered and cuck and like PTSD were being thrown around as like jokes, right? But you have to take into consideration the way those things are being framed in the show, because specifically in this moment where Ryland is talking to Kamal, I saw this as Ryland trying to manipulate Kamal into getting him to stay on the team instead of him actually believing any of those things. Or maybe he does believe all those things and he's on sort of a path to not being a shitty person himself. There's sort of like a lot of parallels between Ryland and Kumal, and I would totally believe at some point they're going to have like you know, Ryland being like, you know, I used to be a lot like you and I learned that I don't need to be a fucking asshole all the time sort of moment in that show. I can see it coming, you guys. Just considering the framing of everything, that the show is about a diverse cast of characters who are taking on a lot of really fucked up shit that legitimately happens in the gaming industry and overcoming this. And I think that that shows really where the politics of the show really lie. There have been a lot of complaints about other characters in the show too, specifically Sam and Lorenzo. Sam is a black woman, Lorenzo is gay, and also Ash, who is the woman who is sort of fighting back against the sort of gaming community's portrayal of her and their ideas that she's just a hot chick and therefore she's not really, you know, they're not really taking her seriously, which again, framing of the show, that's a great concept for a character. There's been some backlash that these characters aren't being portrayed right and they're not reacting right. And this is so frustrating to me because obviously I'm not black and I'm not gay, so I can only sort of focus on Ash as sort of the my surrogate for the show because she's a white woman. One of the things I'm concerned about is that so far Ash isn't really a flawed person. She is just reacting to things. And I hope that these three characters specifically are found to be flawed and are found to have problems because that will make them interesting people. I think if the show sort of responds to backlash and is like, oh, well, we don't want the black character or the gay character to make any mistakes. We can't have, we can't have Ash do anything that would be considered submissive. Then that does not allow any growth for the characters, and then they're boring and one note. And so I really hope that people can allow this show sort of to have the space to let its characters do things and learn and make mistakes and maybe fuck up, yeah, and then redeem themselves and such, without this constant pressure of like, you have to be an awesome role model for all little girls forever or else you are literally Satan. Let's just bring it down, you guys. In the end of the day, it's just a fucking internet show and it's not that big a deal. There's also been some backlash again about the fact that they're in this show at all, the Game Grumps, and that they shouldn't be doing that and they should just be doing this other thing. And there's got to be just a certain amount of exhaustion that comes with having a huge fan base, which a portion of that fan base, which at times could be quite large, is just a bunch of insufferable babies. These people don't fucking owe you anything. You have to allow them to take risks and to do things. And honestly, like, we're 2 episodes in. Maybe Good Game is gonna suck. Maybe the end of Good Game is just terrible and Hitler is risen from the grave and he takes a shit in somebody's mouth. Like, it could go off the rails and be really bad. I don't know. But you have to allow them to try things and to grow and to do different things. They're human beings. They're not puppets that are made to dance for your entertainment. It's not the end of the world if this show is not good. It's not the end of these people's careers. It's not the end of Game Grumps if you don't like the way they portrayed one character in whatever. It's just scale, perspective, priorities. It'll be okay. Honestly, I'm just so grateful that I live on this dark corner of the internet in just total obscurity, where the only people who watch my show are generally, they're just using the brain, the whole brain. And when they don't like something I say, they usually go in the comment section and are like, oh, I think that I disagree with you, and here are all my well-reasoned points for why I disagree. Thank you. Thank you to my viewers who are not insufferable babies, because it's pretty much all of you. And but it seems like as you get bigger and more famous, you just attract these like weird goblins who just treat you like you're their teddy bear, to be dragged everywhere and anywhere they want, through the mud, through the garbage. They don't fucking care. You are there to entertain them, and they want to sit and watch circus. I don't get that sort of treatment from you guys, and I'm happy to live my life in obscurity. So that's my piece about Good Game. I'm gonna watch the rest of the series and see if I enjoy it, and maybe I'll make more videos like this. If you are here to call me names in the comments, I wouldn't bother. I don't care. If you're not here to call me names in the comments, hello, you are welcome to subscribe to my channel and like this and let me know what you think down in the comments. You can also subscribe to my Patreon for $1 a month and get this more Yeah, get me more famous so more internet goblins can yell at me about how I'm not giving them what they want. Yay. Okay, well, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.